Come on, BTC.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. Today is the 25th of June. Already we've had the summer solstice. We've had our fun and games with spring, and now we are getting into the summer. Good morning to you all. I hope you are doing incredibly well. We have a lot to get through. There is a lot of people out there at the minute who are panicking, they are worrying, they are sitting there thinking, oh, Bolgox, what is going on? And I am here to hopefully shed some light on your day. And there's a good reason for this. It is always darkest before the dawn, okay? Yes, we capitulated last night. We came down to the levels that I have been talking about, 61, 58, 52. We nailed 58. And that's what we're going to look at today. We've got a couple of charts we're going to go through. You will have noticed as well, if you've looked at the charts today, that Bitcoin capitulated and nothing else did. And that's the theme of the day. Oh, Bolgox. Mt. Gox has announced it's going to be releasing the amount of Bitcoin, which puts fear into the hearts of investors, so much so they have fled the market. And that's what we're going to look at. We're going to go through the markets. We're going to go through some X files. There's a lot of X files to get through. It's difficult to summarize all of this for you in an hour, but we are going to do our damnedest. As well as that, we are going to look at what a sub $60,000 Bitcoin could mean. We're going to look at ASI. They keep moving the goalposts on this new token. So the ASI token, we now have a new release date, which I'm going to go through. We're going to go through why airdrops matter. It's a little bit of an education piece, probably won't appeal to many people, but we are here to try and educate. We're then going to have a look at memes be back. Remember, memes haven't gone away. The market tanks. They're like minor birds. They're the first thing to die in the mines. They come bouncing back. And I think if we look at the charts today, we're going to see that. Then we're going to look at Moonshot. You may have heard of pump.fun. And if you haven't, it is on Solana and it allows you to generate your own coin within minutes. And Moonshot is a direct competitor. And I'm going to tell you why it is not Moonshot and it is Moon something else that doesn't have an O but has an I. So we have all of that to go through. And I appreciate all of you coming on here. It must be tough. If this is your first bull bear market, it must feel like the world is imploding. And really, it isn't. It isn't imploding at all, so don't panic. Good morning to Bullish Bull. JC, Peter is in chat, Kishan, Chris, Reza, Hidden. There's a lot of you out there. I'm glad you're here. We've got a poll today. Have we bottomed? 92% so far have said yes. 8% have said no. Join in, vote. Make sure to subscribe. We've just broken 141,000 fans, which is great news. We still have our $74,000 target for Bitcoin. Listen, we're weeks away. We're weeks away. We've already gone through how far Bitcoin can move in a matter of days. And Peter, I will check out that account that you are talking about. I will try and screenshot that. I also have a video coming up this afternoon on AI tech. It's another AI token. I'm going to go and have a look at it. The price seems to be very reasonable. I'm going to go and review that this afternoon and probably publish the video this afternoon. But let's get on with some market news. Where are we then? Well, the market has come down, not an awful lot, however. Volume is just under $100 billion. Bitcoin dominance has gone to 53.3, ETH 18. Where are we? We're still at 72%. We've been at 72%. They juggle between themselves. Bitcoin is coming in just under 61,000, down 2% on 24 hours. Ethereum, 33.55. Now, this is the interesting bit. Look at the gainers. Meme coins and AI tokens. The AI tokens are up because, of course, of ASI token. ASI token is going to be Singularity, Fetch, and Oceans. It's happening in about 4 days' time, but we'll go through that in a minute. Bonk is up, Aave, Brett, another meme coin is up, Injective is up, Lido, Celestia, Floki, another meme coin, Pepe, another meme coin, AI token, Ondo. Remember, Ondo is one of my picks. I bought Ondo at 119. It's a good price as far as I'm concerned. Jup is up to 77 cents. Lots of gainers, which is strange considering what has happened with Bitcoin, don't you think? Well, we're going to get onto that in a minute. What has lost? Again, look at that. When was the last time Bitcoin was the highest loser on 24 hours? In over a year and a half, almost probably 2 years now of doing these daily streams, I have never seen Bitcoin second on this list. I've seen Bitcoin second on the list pumping. I've seen it top on the 24-hour pump. I've never seen it second for dumping, and there is a fine reason for that, which we're going to get onto. So as you can see, it's technically been a green day, but most of you out there are probably feeling the heat a little bit. Now, we have a lot of X files to get through, and I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't put them in any particular order, so we're just going to get through them in order. Good morning, Tariq. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are doing well. Mt. Gox, we are going to dump 9 billion in Bitcoin into the market in July. Bitcoiners, yep, I think that pretty much sums up most Bitcoin maxes. However, one thing that it fails to mention, there was a survey done of Mt. Gox creditors, and 66% of them have said that they are not going to sell their Bitcoin. And that seems to be conveniently missed out of the narrative. I wonder why that's been missed out of the narrative. So if you work out, let's say it's $9 billion worth of Bitcoin being dumped, 2/3 isn't going to be dumped. That's a $3 billion dump. That really isn't a massive dump whatsoever. Wrapped Bitcoin is now on Solana via the wormhole. Again, look at what's being built. Look at what is being built. It doesn't matter about the noise. It matters about what is happening. I am bullish on how everything is coming together. I am trying my hardest to ignore the noise. If you'd have said to me 2 years ago that Donald Trump would speak at a Bitcoin convention in this election campaign, I would not believe you, because we were nowhere near ready for this kind of involvement in the election campaign. If you'd have said to me 2 years ago we're going to get a Bitcoin ETF and an Ethereum ETF, I still probably wouldn't have believed you. I said we would probably still be too early. The cutoff point really for me is a trillion, and of course Bitcoin is over $1 trillion, Ethereum isn't. I still think we are very early, and even though we are early, you have Donald Trump speaking at a conference. You have Bitcoin leading the way, top 10 asset in the world now. And then Jan van Eck, do you know where he was yesterday? I'll give you a clue. This is the wall of the waiting room. You have Biden, you have Kamala, and then you have Pierce, you have Gensler. Van Eck is one of the ETFs, one of the companies that provides ETFs. What would he be doing there this week? I'll tell you what he's doing there. He's there because the Ethereum ETF is going to be approved anytime soon. Now, it's mysterious, yes, I will give you that, but it's a sign. And that sign is that we're going to get the Ethereum ETF, and you can wipe away your tears, because when that comes out, everything is going to go super bullish. What are my thoughts on Turbo for a rubbish meme? Absolutely appalling. Turbo, I think the problem is, and I said this yesterday, not all memes are created equally. And this guy is a perfect example. I don't know what his name is, but he will never buy a random meme coin again. He turned $4,500 into $13,000 in an hour, and then it dropped to $600. Now, do you remember what I was saying yesterday about Huckter Girl or whatever it was, and the meme coin associated with it? It absolutely tore up, and then it came straight back down again. And you buy the top, and you become exit liquidity. I try and avoid covering meme coins for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Turbo is trash. And a lot of these meme coins that are being added to exchanges are trash. And they are doing nothing but harm meme coins, and in turn harming crypto. Because this guy has lost, what's he lost? 80% of his, 85% of his money gone in a few hours. That's what it does to you. And there are people out there who are buying at the bottom and selling into you and making millions of dollars. Avoid them. 4 weeks. And I know you might not get the gains, but if you want meme coins, you want to get meme coins that aren't going to zero. Now then, the German government is sending all of its Bitcoin to exchanges to be sold, and this is the current state of affairs. They've gone from $3.3 billion to $2.8 billion. So they are slowly but surely selling off their reserves. And again, it's absolutely crazy for them to be doing this. Absolutely crazy. They should be sending it to their own treasury, but they are clearly not. So that's the roundup. Now, let's go and have a look at what shook the market yesterday. And then we're going to have a look at the Bitcoin price. So Mt. Gox repayments are finally coming next month. Now, this came out not long after our live stream yesterday. So this wasn't in the news yesterday. Ponk is good. I think Ponk is a good meme coin. They are going to distribute 142,000 Bitcoin, 143,000 Bitcoin Cash, and 69 billion Japanese yen. And given the exchange rate, what's that about? A few $1,000s. Their exchange rate's terrible. This has caused everything to tank. Now, for those of you that don't know, Mt. Gox was the exchange of the time 14, 13 years ago. And it did, I don't know, 3/4, 4/5 of all of the Bitcoin volume in the world at that point was done through Mt. Gox. And then something happened and it got hacked. And there is a gentleman, I'm not going to say his name, I think he had Asperger's or something like that. He was on the spectrum at least, and he allegedly is the individual that took the Bitcoin, or the majority of the Bitcoin, and they managed to reclaim some, and now they're paying it back. And this has worried the market multiple times. This isn't the first time they've said that they're going to release the Bitcoin back into the wild. It's not the first time they've said, you know, we're going to pay next month. And every time it happens, it absolutely tanks the market. Every single time. Now, there is a lot of confusion about how much is being released. There is confusion about what people are going to do when they get it. Are they going to sell? Is it going to tank the market? And nobody really knows. And because nobody knows, if you look at the 3 letters of FUD, fear, obviously there's fear of the market, uncertainty, which is what we're suffering now, and doubt. This has been unconfirmed and confirmed, unconfirmed and confirmed. Under Japanese law, like FTX, Mt. Gox creditors will get $483 per Bitcoin. That is pennies. The $9 billion becomes $72 million paid to customers. Now, if this is true, then $72 million isn't going to harm the market. However, do you know who gets the $8.928 billion worth of Bitcoin? The Japanese government. And do we know what the Japanese government are going to do with their Bitcoin? They are probably going to sell it the same way that the German government sells it, and the same way that the American government sells it. So it will be a 100% dump. If it is what everybody expects, which is Bitcoin for Bitcoin to be paid back, 2/3 of that Bitcoin is never going to be sold. It's going to go straight into the wallets of the people on Mt. Gox because they understand the value of it. Good morning, Solo Sky. Welcome to the stream. Now then, whatever way we look at this, it's not bullish, but it's also not bearish. We don't know what's going to happen until it happens. Whether they are not getting all of their money back, whether they are getting all of their money back is irrelevant. There is $9 billion worth of Bitcoin about to make an appearance. And the question is, how much is going to hit the markets and when? And we don't know. And that causes this uncertainty. Now, you will know from watching us, we have our McDonald's. I don't care about it being Head and Shoulders. I don't care about that. It looks like a McDonald's logo and I'm sticking with that. That's all that matters. We came down, and if you see this line that we drew yesterday, 58,470. Our line was 58,280. Now, $200 is nothing, okay? We wicked to it and we held the line. Now, where did we come to? We came back up towards 61,000. Now, what is important is that we are now sitting directly on the next line at 61,000. And again, you know, you've watched before, you know we've got these lines, we haven't really moved them. We need to get back above $64,000. That's where we need to get to, $64,000. To get back above the bull market support band. Now, I've had a few messages today. Where are we going to go? Let me go through the last 3 times our RSI was this low. Okay, so we have a super low RSI. The last 3 times this happened, and I alluded to it yesterday. Number 1, the FTX collapse, which was what, November 22? Number 2, USDC collapse. And number 3, August 2023, the pit of the bear market. And yesterday, if you remember, we drew our line of what happened. And that is, it took us a while, we went sideways for a little bit, we recovered, and then we went off to the moon. Now, I'm not expecting us to be at $73,000, $74,000 tomorrow, but I am expecting us to recover from where we are. If we don't, we're going to go to $52,000. And if we lose that, we're going to come down to maybe 47 and maybe 43. I think we have got an 80% chance of moving up. Again, I can't work in absolutes because I don't know. I can only go off what has happened in the past. And the last 3 occasions we had this kind of RSI, the last time we had this kind of price action, we bounced. And maybe it won't be today, maybe at the end of the week. But remember, we have all of the bullish news of July to come. Potential rate cuts, the Ethereum ETF. We've had the RSI bounce. Bitcoin is oversold. We've completed the M pattern. We have no reason to go down. All of these bits of news are all being slightly blown out of proportion. You know, the Mt. Gox thing has been there for a long time. Web3, we're going under 50k. Well, you know what? I'm never going to say you're wrong. What I will say, on the last 3 occasions that the RSI came this low, we bounced. Now, I am not saying we don't do this. Maybe we do. But I do think we've got a very good case for us bouncing. I do think we've got a good case for us going back up. If you look at the pre-blow-off tops, we've always had this period of consolidation before then. Shake the last group of people out of the market, scare people half to death, and then we run off. It's the longer we stay like this and the further we come down, the better it is in the long run. If we went to $100,000 in August, where do we go from there? It's very difficult to have momentum over a 14-15 month period. We said yesterday, 30% of the time in a bull run we go up and 70% of the time we don't. And if you look at, we went through it the other day, we had a month of upward action followed by 3 months of sideways and downward action. Even in bull runs, we have these periods of time where we crab, we stagnate. The RSI resets, we get heavily oversold, and then we bounce again. We need to get above this bull market support band, and we need to do it sooner rather than later, and that's going to be $64,000. So that is the target. Might not happen today. I think the Oracle last night, I watched the Oracle last night, and he was talking about Bitcoin maybe doing a move by Friday. So Friday, what are we today? Tuesday. 3 days of hopefully staying above 60,000, maybe getting towards 61, 62,000. That would be a good case for us moving back up. But again, what are the ETFs going to do? Are they going to sell this afternoon? A lot of the ETFs are sitting in negative territory. Are they going to sell? We're 100k this year. I don't know if we're going to get to 100k this year. I think maybe 80 or 90k would be this year. So the last 3 times we've had this scenario, the USDT collapse, the USDC, which was Luna, that collapsed, the FTX collapse, and August 23, which was, of course, the pits of the bear market. They're the last 3 times we've been this low. It has to go up. And it might not be today, but it has to go up over the next few weeks, or we are, like Web3 says, going to come down even further. And again, the other bottom of the M pattern, it could be 52,000. I just don't think so. So Bitcoin derivatives turn bearish as traders anticipate sub 60,000. Now remember, this was written before all of the news that came out. We have seen the drop below 60,000. There was an awful lot of people liquidated, and the issue is, it compounds the issue. The lower we go, the more longs come into play, and the more that the money markets and the money makers want to liquidate the longs. Now, we've smashed the longs to pieces. The next thing to do is a short squeeze. Now that short squeeze is going to pump the price. And what will happen then is more people will either, if we break 64, more people will long. And guess what? The longs will then be liquidated. So you have to be very careful with leverage. There was a guy yesterday on X. He lost $12 million on Ethereum and he's out. He's completely gone because he was too long on Ethereum and he got liquidated. He's lost $12 million. That's why leverage is not something that you should play with. It's something you should leave well alone. And if you do play with leverage, you do it with fractions of your portfolio. You do not go all in on a long on Ethereum or Bitcoin or anything. It's a way to get absolutely wrecked. And he lost everything. Now, if you look at where we are at the minute, 57.5, we had 57.5 and 58.5, or we had one of those two. I think we're gonna have a recovery from here. We don't need to worry about Mt. Gox. We know Mt. Gox is going to happen. It's not a black swan event. Black swan events are things that we don't know about. We know about Mt. Gox. We know about the election campaign. We know about interest rates. These are not black swans. The only way, in my opinion, talking to Web3 here, the only way we go to 47,000 is a black swan event. That's the only way we get down there. And nothing in the markets at the minute are pointing down. But that doesn't mean that you are wrong and I am right. That is my opinion and that is your opinion. And one of us will be right. Token merger of Fetch, Singularity and Ocean Protocol is to start on July the 1st. This has been ongoing for a while. It was going to be, I believe it was going to be June the 20th or June the 15th. Then it became July the 14th or July the 10th. Now it's become July the 1st. It's a little bit messy and it would explain the price action of a lot of the AI tokens in the market, because this is big news. This is going to create the second largest AI token in the world behind Near Protocol. And it's going to be a big one and it's something I'm looking forward to. And the reason is I've been massively bullish on Singularity and Fetch for at least the last 2 years. They don't compete with each other, but they work together. They're coming together now with Ocean, and it might take some time for them to get economies of scale and start to grow. But they want to be the biggest independent AI company in the world. And if you look at what Google and Microsoft and Apple and everybody else is working on, we need independent AI. Elon Musk has been talking about it for a long time. I've watched several really interesting videos about AI over the last couple of months, and we are at an inflection point. And I said to somebody about a week ago, I said, the impact of AI will not be felt probably for another 2 years. And then when it is felt, there will be mass redundancies, especially in customer service, especially in accountancy, maybe in the legal sector. All of these industries where things can be automated with AI are all going to be replaced. In terms of crypto, I would expect your wallets, your non-custodial wallets, to have AI built into them. So you don't send to the wrong address. You don't send to a phishing address. You don't get the, there is a trick where people send you a fraction of crypto with a slightly different wallet address to kind of trick you into sending them your cryptocurrency. All of that is going to be safeguarded by AI, but there are going to be redundancies. And what you don't want from AI is for it to take over with its own agenda. It needs to be neutral and independent, and that's what they're trying to create. So the move will merge these projects under one token, which is ASI. I made a portfolio video on Sunday, and I had in that portfolio video, I had Near Protocol and I had ASI. ASI is likely to do incredibly well. They will get economies of scale. They will grow. The token will probably be valued at $1.50 right now. I would expect that token in the bull run to do massive numbers because, and this is one of these things where it comes down to not actually bothering to do any research. If I showed you 3 tokens, I showed you Trump, I showed you Brett, and I showed you Bonk. If I showed them to the average person in the street, which of those 3 meme coins would you buy? I'd say 2/3 of them would say the Trump coin, because it's familiarity. Now, what they've done is they've taken Fetch. Nobody understands what that is. Singularity. Nobody understands what that is. And Ocean. Nobody understands what that is. Maybe it's an eco token. And what they've done is they've created something called Artificial Super Intelligence Alliance. So when somebody is sitting there on their wallet and they're looking to buy an AI token because the mates have told you that AI is going to be the next big thing, they're going to go down the list. And what's going to be the first token on that list? ASI. And they'll click on it and they'll see Artificial Super Intelligence. And they'll go, I'll buy that. Now, believe it or not, that is where the dumb money comes from. It's not from people like you and I who do a bit of research and understand a little bit about projects. It's dumb money. And dumb money is going to give us a $250,000 Bitcoin. So we shouldn't mock them. But I call them dumb money because they don't do any research. So ASI is going to do incredibly well. The fundamentals of it are sound. I understand how it makes money. That's the key for me. If I don't understand how your project makes money, then I'm probably not going to buy the token. I know how Near makes money. I will know how Fetch makes money. I know how Dexes make money. That's going to be the key in the next few years. Projects are going to die because they run out of funding. And that is the harsh reality of it. Some of the tokens that you're holding today will probably cease to exist as a project in 2 or 3 years' time, and you need to be prepared for that. Even some of the tokens, if we go back 5 years and look at the top 10 the top 10 crypto tokens from 5 or 10 years ago, and we look 5 years into the future, the top 10 today will not exist in that guise in 5 or 6 years' time. Some of them will have died. Litecoin was forever and a day number 2. XRP forever and a day was number 2, and they've fallen down slightly, especially Litecoin. So when you see these tokens and you think this is going to be a front runner in AI, it has a good name, which sounds crazy, but it's half the battle. It has a good project behind it and it makes money. And those are keys for me to being a successful project. So phase 2, we'll see the deployment of the ASI token across multiple chains. We know that. We've talked about the conversion rate multiple times on this channel. It's 1-to-1 for FET. If you don't hold FET and you hold some of the tokens, it's about 2/5 of an ASI per one of those tokens. You don't have to do anything. If your money is on an exchange, it will automatically be converted. If it's not on an exchange and it's in a non-custodial wallet, go to the website of FET or Ocean or Singularity and you'll be able to convert it there, and it won't cost you anything to do it. And that's all you need to do. You're not going to lose your tokens, and there is an infinite amount of time to do that, according to the press release that I've read before. Smash the likes. Indeed, smash the likes. I don't even know how many likes we're on. We're only on 8 likes. That's not good. Right then. So we've had a bit of a pump on Fetch with the news coming out. Again, we are at a good price. We came down. Now look at that. Beautifully came down, touched this fib level, which was 110, and now we have bounced roughly 50% since, what day was that? 17th of June. So in the last week we've bumped. We have to get above the bull market support band. I've written ASI on here because this is going to be the ASI token. Fetch will disappear, obviously, and the rest of them will disappear. But this pattern, this chart action should follow through into ASI. We've recently got up as high as $3.35. That was in price discovery. We were never going to hold that price for a long time. I think at this stage of the market, $2.50 to $3 is a good price for the token. My video, I clearly say that it's going to go to $5. In the bull run, it could do even bigger numbers, because even at a $5 token, I think that gives us a market cap of about 8 billion, which in the bull run isn't an awful lot. It sounds a lot of money when you say it now, but you have to realize things like Pepe went to, SHIB went to $36 billion in the bull run. Everything gets overpriced in the bull run, and that's why you need to sell. And that's the key. It's undervalued now, by maybe 60, 70, 80%. But in the bull run, it becomes overvalued. And that's when the greed kicks in. It's like taking that ring in Lord of the Rings. You've got a hold of the ring and you carry it all the way into that mount. Was it Mount Doom? And you're going to throw the ring in and you think, shouldn't I just keep it? And that's the problem. Because when you're sitting there and you've got $20,000 of Chainlink and $50,000 of Bitcoin, and you've made 10, 15, 20x on your portfolio, you sit there and you think to yourself, well, it could go a bit higher. It's overvalued. At those prices, it's overvalued. And that's why you need to sell, because it will come down to its fair value, which is a lot lower than where it will go in the bull run. And then you buy it again on the cheap. Or not on the cheap. If you want to wait for the bear market, you get it on the cheap, but it comes down to the fair value. You can buy back in at the fair value. Long term, this is a good project. It has companies already using its services. And technically, I do think it will at some point split off from crypto. And I've said this before about certain other coins. I think AI will become its own industry, its own crypto industry. And it might not be affected by the bull run. I've said this about real world assets as well. Why should the price of Ondo or Mantra be affected by the price of other crypto assets when it deals in real world assets and it deals in real world value? Now, if you've got $150 million worth of USDY earning a yield, and that yield is going into Ondo, why would the price of Ondo drop in correlation to the price of, say, Solana? It shouldn't, because it's a separate entity. I see AI being a separate entity, RWA being a separate entity. We haven't got there yet because Bitcoin owns 54% of the market. But over time, we will see a fragment. It's a strange one. The more interoperable the different blockchains and the different solutions become, the more fragmented the markets will become, and they'll become less attached to Bitcoin. It's like at the minute, it's like Bitcoin is gold and Near Protocol is Tesla. And the price of gold goes down and then the price of Tesla tanks. They're two totally unrelated assets. And I think we're not there yet, but we are closer than you would think. Right, moving on then, very quickly. So why do cryptocurrency projects use airdrops? Why do these think about it? Why do these companies just give away all of their tokens to you? Why? There's a few good reasons I've got in my head, but we'll very quickly skip through the article. So November 21, ENS gave away $660 million worth of tokens. Bored Ape gave away ApeCoin, that was worth $2 billion. Now, there is a reason behind this. Let's see if it covers this. Airdrops serve as a marketing tool to attract new users and maintain a community. That's a very valid point. I think also it's to reward loyal customers. So if you take the Dupe airdrop, for example, you were using Dupe in one of its various forms to exchange your tokens on the Solana blockchain for a long time before the airdrop, and they know what your wallet address is, and they also know the volume that you've put through their platform. So they are going to give you tokens as a reward for being part of Dupe. Secondly, you might have Sharkify. Sharkify is a project that might have been used by only 10,000 people, but by giving that token away via a Dupe airdrop on the LFG platform, they can actually airdrop their token to 150,000, 250,000 people. Why is that important? Because when we look at the concentration of tokens in a project, when you see a token that's got 30, 40% in a centralized way, I'll give you an example. I think it's called Bubble Map. And I think I used this when I was talking about a token. Was it DJT? I think. So let me very quickly take a little sidestep here. And let's click on any one of these tokens. Let's just look at Bitcoin. Let's see if it works. Okay. Where's Bitcoin? I don't actually care. Let's just click on any one of them. Right, there we go. So what this does, And you can't see on the right-hand side, unfortunately, because it's cut off by the menu. But this is the concentration of wallets of that token, Benny. So Radium holds 12.5%. Now, Radium happens to be a decentralized exchange, a liquidity pool, whatever you want to call it. It's fine, okay? It can hold that amount. But the next ones down only hold 4 and 3 and 2 and 1% of the token. That's fairly decentralized because one of them is likely to be Benny's treasury. Another one could be a whale that bought in at the very beginning, but they're not large amounts. When I've covered some of these tokens in the past, some of these tokens have got 20, 30% in one wallet. And do you know what they're going to do? They're going to dump on you. Like Wood. Wood was a token where this guy, he was a poor man's Andrew Tate. He came out, this is going to be the token of the future. He got everybody to buy Wood and then he dumped because he held 30% of the supply and he ran off with whatever he made out of it. So it's kind of decentralizing the token amongst a user base of 100 or 200,000 people. That helps price action. Also helps reward people from using tokens. So there are very valid reasons, and don't think of it like giving away shares. Think of it like a share loyalty program. If you've worked for a company for 20 years and every year you're with that company, they give you shares in that company, then you have a vested interest in that company. The same way, if somebody airdrops you $1,000 worth of dupe, what did I do with my dupe? I staked it. That's what I did. A lot of people sold, but we found the bottom and the price moved up, and a lot of people held onto the token because they believe in the project. So it works on several levels, but it might sound really crazy for me to sit here and say, Bored Ape gave away $2 billion worth of tokens, because you might think, well, why didn't they just sell it? Because they'd end up with $1.95 billion worth of tokens in the treasury because nobody would buy it. It's a reward, it's loyalty, it's building a community, it's decentralizing the wallets, the tokens in the wallets. There's lots of positive reasons. Now, so when you see airdrops, and I know a lot of you don't like airdrops because you see a lot of them as scams, just remember that, again, like meme coins, not all meme coins are created the same, not all airdrops are created the same. I am getting a Camino Finance airdrop next week. Why? Because I stake my Solana with them. So they reward me. How much am I going to get? I don't know, $200. I'm going to get my dupe rewards, as are all of you, on a certain date in July. I'll make a video about that. And you will be airdropped, or you'll be able to claim, dupe, more when, more Sharkify tokens, more Zeus tokens. All of that comes to you. But for you to get all of those airdrops, you have to have been with Jupiter since the start of the year. You have to have voted since the start of the year. It's building loyalty. Every year, Jupe are going to airdrop their tokens to you. It's a way of rewarding your loyalty. So for me, I'm a big fan of airdrops. I'm not a big fan of random airdrops, however, that are brand new tokens that might not necessarily take off. And you'll know from a lot of the videos that I've made, I suggest selling most of the airdrops. Good morning, Fran. I hope you are well. Now then, where are we with Solana? Well, we had this level here, which was 120. What did we come down to? We came down to 121. Again, what's $1.80 between friends? What's $1.80 between friends? I said we'd go to 120, and we didn't. Below 120, we have other price targets. If you look down here towards this next level of liquidity, this next fib level down here is 113. We didn't reach it. Now, what is key? If we zoom in and we make these lines a little bit longer, guess what? We are starting to break out of this downward trend. So what do we need to do? The same thing we need to do on Bitcoin and get back into the bull market support band. Now remember, when we are above, it's like a springboard and it propels us up. When we're beneath it, it's like being trapped under ice in a lake. You know that scene from Omen where she's floating along and she can't break up? We need to get above that level. So we are likely to maybe do something like this, or just smash it. It doesn't really, again, we're not in bearish territory anymore now for Solana if we can break out. So we need to get back to 141, sorry, and then we need to get back above 152. So 141 and 152, they're my targets. Further down, we've still got 120. That has held. If you go back, we have wicked below it, but also we haven't closed below it. And again, Solana is in its own little McDonald's application form pattern. I don't care if you want to call it head and shoulders. I'm going to call it the McDonald's application, because, of course, if we come all the way down, you will be going to McDonald's and you will be serving fries. But we've broken it, so let's see if we can continue up, get back above the bull market support band. Remember, in the past, we have broken below the bull market support band. It's not, I'm not going to go any further back, we haven't got any time, but the point of the matter is we can go below it, we can wick below it. What we don't want to do is spend 3 months under it. We want to get back up. I've got July the 11th here. I've probably written that for a reason. July the 11th here is when I expect us to be back in positive territory. Now, 2 articles to go. We've got 15 minutes to go. We are absolutely flying. And if we've got time, what I will do is I will start my research on AI tech live on the stream, if we've got time, of course. Remember, if you've got any questions, ask them in chat. Drop a comment in chat. If you've got anything you want to ask, drop it in chat. I am more than happy to answer your questions. Now then, meme coins will come back. Millionaire trader predicts multi-billion-dollar crypto price crash. This was yesterday evening whilst we were in the midst of the price crash. Andrew Kang, the popular millionaire crypto trader and co-founder of Mechanism Capital, predicted on Monday a multi-billion-dollar crypto crash to come before meme coins make a triumphant return. He highlighted the culmination of Bitcoin sell pressure from Germany, Mt. Gox, and the ETFs as forces that will likely break the asset's current price support levels. The only buyers seem to be leverage and short-term traders. Knife catching, he wrote. These moves typically result in a multi-billion-dollar cascade, which we have seen, have we not? We have seen the crash today. Sorry, not today, yesterday. And we have bounced back up. The question is this a dead cat bounce? Is it a relief rally? Or have we really just seen the bottom? Who knows? So we're down 10% over the past month. We are sitting as I think we're now at 61,000, 60,900, something like that. 314 million in liquidations over the past 24 hours. Again, those liquidations end people. And I don't mean end people, I mean end people in terms of their investments. So, you know, I mentioned before there was the guy, I was going to include it in the stream, but he was very emotional that he'd lost all of his money and he wasn't in a good place mentally. And that's another reason to avoid any kind of leverage. Don't touch leverage. Don't think you can beat the market. The second you put $12 million on a long, on Ethereum, you become a target for the sharks. And it's as simple as that. And he became a target and they ate him. And he's left with probably nothing because he's been liquidated. So these liquidations, they're not good. That's $314 million of money being moved from people who were wrong to people who were right. And those people who were right tend to be market makers. And they're the people that sit in the shadows that you've never heard of. Reza mentioned them on Telegram the other day, and they are one of the bigger ones. They provide the market liquidity and trading for a lot of platforms. I'm not going to say any more about it than that. So they look for you and you put a target on your head and they come and get you. Now, not him on his own, of course. They're not going to go after $12 million. But if you work out, he was almost 4% of the total liquidations yesterday. One individual. So there are sharks that will hunt you down. And at the minute, those sharks are looking at a short squeeze to liquidate the shorts. That could push us to 62,000 today, 63,000 today. You will then all think we're out of the woods and then long. And what I always say is you've got to break resistance and then use it as support. So if we do go to 63,000 today, we're still not above 64,000, which means we can come straight back down again. But the faster we go down, the faster we can go up, and then the faster we can go down again. They will just play games with you. You know, it's like Eddie Hall getting in the ring with those two midgets. He was just throwing them all over the place, okay? And that's the money maker. And you are one of those midgets in the ring with him. And he will just bounce you off the 8 sides of that octagon. You don't play with them. And to avoid them, you avoid leverage. And that is the simple key. If you want to play with leverage, quite a lot of exchanges have coins called 3L, 5L, 5S, 3S. That's a 3x short and a 5x short. And it's a token that you can buy on those exchanges that you're on at the minute. And that will give you some leverage. So if it goes up 1%, you will gain 5%. And that is probably a really easy way for you to get into leverage and stay, because you certainly don't want to be doing, if you mess up your stop loss, if you mess up your take profit. I was watching somebody yesterday who was waxing lyrical about how good he was at longing and shorting the market. And he went back to his position and he got everything completely wrong. And he got out, he made himself, I don't know what it was, $100, $200, fair play to him. But the point of the matter is, he was on a live stream trying to tell you how to long and short the market, and he was getting it wrong. Okay, now that's not a slight on him at all, but if he gets it wrong and he's an expert, you have to know your stuff before you go anywhere near it. So for me, we want to avoid anything like this. And meme coins, we've gone off on a tangent again. Meme coins are not going to go away. They are not a flash in the pan. A lot of people that are fading Solana need to get back in their lane, okay? Stick to talking about your own blockchain, okay? Meme coins are not going to go anywhere. I didn't like them 2 years ago. I thought they were terrible for crypto. They're not going anywhere, and they've made a lot of people a lot of money and haven't lost people a lot of money in certain instances, like Bonk, like Pepe, like Dog with Hat, if you hadn't bought at $4, of course. A lot of these meme coins, Ponk is another example, they're all good meme coins. And over time, they will become community coins, which nobody mentions. A meme coin has no inherent usage or value. A community coin has utility. That's how I define it. So Bonk is no longer a meme coin because it has a trading bot, because it has a staking platform, because it has its own trading platform, because it has its own DEX. It's not a meme coin anymore, but it keeps itself under that umbrella because it's sexy and cute. So memes will come back. They are going to go through a down period. I think what we're going to talk about next is the death knell of the creation of meme coins for a while, which I'm going to go on to. So although I agree with him, I also disagree with him. I think the market cap of all the meme coins combined is going to increase over time, but I think the number of successful meme coins is going to start swinging back. At the minute, you can throw up a one-page article, pay some influencers or shillfluencers to talk about your coin, put it live on pump.fun and make a few $100,000. I think that time is coming to an end, and I think you will start to see professional created meme coins that have got teams behind them. Maneki, which I made a video about, Maneki is a really well built meme coin. Baojing, which I covered on Sunday, a really well put together meme coin. It's targeting China and the Asian market. It's got a 4.5 billion population market to go after. Eventually, in time, it might take off, but it's speculation at the minute because it's very low market cap. But the point is, they're well put together, and that's something you need to understand. You can't just follow in just because something's called after a famous meme like Huckter Girl, which happened on Friday, whatever it was. That meme coin would have cost you 99% of your investment if you'd have got into that. Don't jump on every bandwagon, you're going to get wrecked. Now, Dex Screener, which we love on this channel, has launched Moonshot, its new meme coin launchpad. Is this a good idea? Absolutely not. It's a terrible, terrible idea. However, let's say you have an idea for a crypto project and you want to get it off the ground quickly, and you don't want to go and pay devs $20,000 to create your meme coin for you. Take the word meme out and for 1 second and just call it a coin launchpad, which is probably what they should have done. It's a way for you to create a token which could represent your project. So I'm going to look at the point of view from a meme coin. It's a waste of time. Don't go anywhere near it. Don't go and create your own coin. Do it if you want to play and be educated with yourself. Go and create one to see how the process works. I get that. But think of it from another point of view. Let's say you've got a community, or let's say you've got a product or a service that you want to launch. This launchpad would allow you to create your own token. Let's call it Crypto Warehouse. Let's call it Warehouse Token. And we wanted to give you tokens as a reward for being OGs, for being members of our community. We would know what all your wallet addresses are. We could airdrop you the token. Now, the value in the token on day one is, of course, 0, and it will only be worth something when people pay what they think it's worth. That's why the majority of these are never going to be worth anything. But if there was a monetary value associated with this token, whereby we would buy this token and burn it every month, then suddenly the tokens that you've got in your pocket have a value, because you know that if you put them up on the market, they will get burnt over time, and then I will buy the tokens off you. So there is a mechanism to make a token for your community. And I'm not saying we're going to do it, by the way. I'm just saying it's possible. Now, the token data aggregator Dex Screener launched its Solana-based token platform Moonshot on Monday. The launchpad is similar to Pump.Fun, where users create their own tokens with a 1 billion supply and a liquidity pool deployed on decentralized Radium after they allocate 500 Sol. Since the token is launched using Moonshot's infrastructure, Dex Screener guarantees that the contracts are fully audited and without inside activity. That is also vitally important. After the 500 Sol cap is reached and the pool is deployed on Radium, a total of 150 million to 200 million from the token supply is burnt and liquidity is locked into the contract thereafter. And there is a breakdown of it. No pre-sale, no insiders, fully audited, buy and sell at any time, ownership renounced. Again, this is a good way to do it, but let's not focus on meme coins. Look at this as a way of getting your project off the ground. So 333 tokens have been created since its launch, 27 of them being launched on Radium after reaching the cap. Of all the tokens getting their liquidity pools, only 5 of them have shown positive movements in the last hour. Pepe, I don't know why, Stan, Longhorse, Dex Mascot, and Mooncat. So I would say, again, go and check it out for educational purposes. Go and have a look at it. Go and see how it works. But if you're going to look at it from a meme coin, as I said, take the O and replace it with an I, because it's a waste of time. You are never going to do well with a meme coin when you are competing with hundreds of thousands of others. And if you think that's an overestimate, I believe there was 200,000 or 300,000 coins created on Solana this month, or was it last month? I think it's this month. It's just an outrageous amount. So be careful when you look at stuff like that. Now, what the token that I'm going to look at today, we have got a bit of time. Can't believe we've managed to get to the end of the show and we've still got a few minutes. Now, full disclosure, I do not hold this token. I do not hold any of it. I didn't buy any before the stream, so I'm not trying to pump this coin. AI Tech has absolutely, let's take it from there, and let's probably go to the start of the year, so let's say about there. Now again, this is going to go into the video, So let's have a look at where we are now. Very similar action to Bitcoin, to Solana, to Ethereum. We've come down, we've gone below the bull market support band. We are sitting at the price before the crazy pump. The crazy pump was in March. I imagine that's about the same time as when all of the other AI tokens went on a march. And what I'm going to do in my video is I'm going to assess whether this is a decent project or not. That is what I am going to do, is have the website address. Let's go and get it off CoinGecko. Right, where is the website? There it is. Okay. So the first thing I will do in a video, as always, is we go through the website. We look at the tokenomics. We look at the roadmap. So this is a overly snazzy website, way too snaz for me. AI and GPU marketplace. So who is it competing with? Is it competing with IO? Is it competing with render? Is it competing with fetch? Who's the competition of AI tech? Then you look at something like the partners. Partners and backers. So these are all the people that are involved. Again, I'm not overly impressed with this. Why? Because there's hundreds of them. It's ridiculous. Okay? Crypto Banter is on here. That immediately makes me think that this is overly pumped. Galaxy is not a backer. It's a place where you can promote your coin. So already, looking at this, I'm not overly keen on the project. It's overly complicated, but we'll have a look at the roadmap. And look at that. The roadmap takes us to the contactor's address. So, is that just... And the website doesn't work. Okay, so you can see how this is going to go. Customer self-service portal and a distributed ledger format. This is what they do. Handling complex computational intensive data analyzed tasks, providing comprehensive solutions for your needs. Our platform allows you to effortlessly select resources and software add-ons from our state-of-the-art data center. So we're going to go and have a look at this. I'm going to make a video about it, and I'm going to see exactly how this project ticks. We will go and have a look at their tokenomics, which hopefully, oh, they have the roadmap there. Let's have a look. So they are launching the GPU marketplace, they are launching the AI marketplace, and then they will create their data center, which is fantastic. So we will go and have a look at this. I will go and have a look at the price action, like I have said, and see if we can find, there we go. So it's called AI Tech. There are 800 million tokens out of 2 billion. So there is, what's that? That's 40% of the supply is being sold. The price started at 1 cent. It's not done bad, has it? It's up to 14 cents since it's launched. We will go and have a look at this project. So that's what I'm going to look at. I'm going to see if it's legitimate. I'm going to see if it's got any chance of getting anywhere near the other big boys. What's the market cap coming in at of this project? $90 million. So we'll go and have a look at AI Tech. As I said, it's not sponsored. Don't care whether I like this project or not. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on it. What I will say is the price action has been going down since it peaked up here at 43 cents. Now we're down at 14 cents. It's lost 66% of its value. Is it a good time to get in? Is it a bad time to get in? According to the charts, it's a good time to get in. But again, it's all going to be based on what we think about the project. So that's going to be the review for today, AI Tech. And let's very quickly have a look at the Bitcoin price before we go. What time is it now? It's 12:01. Perfect timing. And Kabir turns up at the death. Right, 61.4. Where has that taken us to? That has taken us to the bull market support band, the bottom of the bull market support band, which is where I said we needed to get to. The next point up from that, which I think we're going to struggle at, is 64,000. So we need to get back into this range. That's what we need to do. And then if we do that, we need to get above 64. 64k. That's what we need to get above today, ideally today. I don't know if that's going to happen today, however. We might be stuck at 62,000, but at least we've had a bounce. And if you look down here, when we had this really bad bit of price action, which is very similar to this, we followed on that trajectory. So maybe we have a similar event happening today. Let's see. But again, 61.4, it's positive for me. We are up, and that's what I want to see at this time. I wanted to see us bounce. I wanted a reaction, and 60, like I said, 61.3 is a bare minimum for me. The white line we've got here is 60,006. The wick down here is 58.4, which we kind of came in. I mean, it's all pointing upwards. The RSI needs to creep up a bit. I think we're going to have an okay few days, so I'm not too worried. It will test the 58k, the bottom wick, next 3 days, says Kabir. He always comes in here with his 58k. We've already tested 58k. Now, you could say, yes, and maybe we do it today. But if we go back, are we not just going to see capitulation? Because as far as I can see, the next big target for me is the short squeeze. That's the target. You will have hardly any longs down here. You will have a mass of shorts to liquidate up here. And that's why I think we're going to go up. Now, you could be right. Maybe we do this today. Maybe we go up, liquidate the shorts, have a short squeeze. Everybody's going to think that we are going to go back to 68,000 and then we come down here to 58. That is a possibility. So yes, I can see a scenario where you are right, Kabir. Yeah, but we touched it. We touched it over here. You see this here? On some exchanges, this wick came down to the bull market support band, and that is all we needed to do. On other exchanges, we didn't. So that was the confirmation there. Over here, the confirmation was to come down to 58.4, and we came down to 58.6. And I think if I looked on a different exchange, we would have come down to 58.4. I think on CoinMarketCap it said we came down to 58.5. I mean, it's there or thereabouts. We'll see. We'll see. If we do come down, all the better, because we can come down, retest it, and then we can crack on and go back up. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. This is the end of the stream. I'm going to go make some videos now. Thank you for hitting the like button, the subscribe button, all of those good things. Do you want to see what the poll says today? Let's have a quick look. The poll was, have we bottomed? 68% said yes, and 32% said no. What we need is somebody out there to keep a track of these polls. We need a volunteer to keep a track of these polls. So on future streams, you can tell us whether the majority was right or the majority was wrong. That's what we need. Anyway, on that note, oh Bolgox, I will see you all in the morning. Today's Tuesday, so I'll see you all in the morning. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. We've got 2 new OG members in the last 2 days. Reza and another gentleman have subscribed to the channel. A big thank you for that. Remember, you can subscribe. You can become an OG member. I think it's $2 or $3 a month. And it helps support the channel. Helps us buy a camera so you can see my pretty face. But take care, and I will see you all in the morning. Goodbye.